Welcome. You know what you're doing. You know why you here. You know why you tuned in this morning to check out. That's right. You are listening to Bras, Panties and Sports, where we had a voice lady of sports talk, the one and only Cheryl Smith. That's right, we got her in the house. She over here looking good, smelling good, and I don't know where she got them shoes from, but I think that she went to the Wizard of Oz set and stole Dorothy's ruby red slippers, because them boys is just shining this morning. And we got David. That's right, old Grumpy was ready to send the man a fruitcake to see if he could get him to be on the show again. But we got David Funky Flores. That's right, he is here. Now he got more sass than Goddess Kelly. And that's a sassy person. And we got a real guest. We got a guest on the panel today. And many of you may know him, and you may not know him. But we ain't got no android, we ain't got no clone, we got the real Damian Adams. Welcome to the show, Damian.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, now check out the music this week on Shout Out. We are featuring performances from NuBluzRevue, where they find their shining star. Or get the cold. It'll be chilly down there. Feel the mute button. But to get this going, you know what time it is. First lady, we're ready. What you saying?
Excuse me. What am I saying? Okay. Each week we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world. Not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdies known as the Atlanta Falcons wish they could fly far, far away from a Thursday night beatdown by the reigning Super Bowl champions. There was drama. There was rain delays. There were drop passes. There were questionable calls and sloppy play by both teams. Are the Atlanta Falcons about to become the Atlanta Turkeys? Is Julio Jones the only target they can throw the ball to? Did the Eagles simply break out a can of whoop-ass? Or did the Falcons implode under the leadership of an offensive coordinator who simply sucks? Should the Saints, Panthers, and even Tampa Bay be licking their chops at playing the Falcons? Maya Moore, Becky Hammond, Candace Parker, and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? Yeah, the Atlanta Falcons are becoming the Atlanta Turkeys. Matter of fact, they are already the Turkeys because this team offense is just, it's horrible. It's consistently based on getting the ball to Julio Jones. I mean, this continues to happen that this team cannot score in the red zone. I mean, in the first half, they were right there. They had four attempts to score, and they couldn't get the ball into the zone. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. Offensive coordinator Steve Sarkisian, he just needs to be a little bit more advanced or proactive and put some more variety in the Falcons' offense. Their offense is just too stagnant. I mean, again, it's force-feeding the ball to Julio Jones. I mean, don't get me wrong. Julio Jones is a great receiver. I mean, everybody on the defense know that the ball's coming to him, and he's able to make catches. But the problem is when they get in the red zone, they have to put some more variety. They either have to get the ball to Mohamed Sanu. They could have used Devontae Freeman as a receiver, as a wide receiver, the same way that Pittsburgh uses Le'Veon Bell. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. You've got to have some more variety. And Steve Sarkisian, I mean, I don't know what's up with him. He's not a good offensive coordinator. And Matt Ryan, look, the clock is ticking on you because, I mean, you had a bad season last year, and you're starting off with a bad season. I mean, you were horrible, extremely horrible. He didn't even complete 50% of his passes. And we just can't continue to give Matty Ice pass. I mean, he needs to do something this year. And, I mean, again, the Falcons, I mean, they're turkeys. What can I say about them? I mean, it's just getting really bad. David, what do you think? Funky Flores, what do you think about this situation?
I think those boys need to watch some tape is what I think they need to do. Look, I mean, there's no doubt that the play calling, was below average. I totally agree with you that it looks like a great deal of the offense there is about getting the ball to Julio Jones. Just no way to account for their performance in the last year. They actually busted up the Eagles, and I think they had a 24-10 victory over them last year. But anyway, we're going to see what they put out this year. But it's still early in the season.
Yeah, it's early in the season, but I think this is an indication of how the Falcons are going to be. I mean, these turkeys, this is ridiculous that they can't get the ball into the zone to touchdown. They can't score. So, it's just...
It's not a good sign. Not a good sign, that's for sure. Yeah, not a good sign for sure.
All right. The real Damian, what do you think? The real Damian.
Yeah.
Adams.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with what you're saying, that they have to switch up their play calling in the red zone. It was a crazy stat that came out that said that Matt Ryan is 1 for 20 the last 2 years from trying to target Julio Jones in the red zone when going into the end zone. So obviously it's not successful. So it seems like they're repeating the same mistakes. They lost the exact same way that they lost in the playoffs last year, on the last second play trying to go to Julio Jones on the sideline in the end zone. He ends up out of bounds. So you figure, what are they learning? What have they learned, if anything, from last year in the playoffs if you're going to go out and lose the exact same way? So they definitely have to find a different way to try to score in the red zone. But you also have to give credit to Philadelphia's defense for being so tight in the end zone, in the red zone, making it tough for Atlanta. But I definitely don't think that Atlanta is, the turkeys. As a Saints fan myself, I'm not looking forward to playing them. I don't think it'll be easy. But they definitely show some weaknesses in this game.
So you don't think they're turkeys, huh? Okay. If they continue to play like that, they definitely are turkeys. Spitface, break it down for us.
Gobble, 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 gobble. Can someone pass the dressing, the gravy, and the giblet gravy too? Anybody got some sweet potato pie? Because the Atlanta Falcons are starting to remind me of Thanksgiving. Because every team they play is going to be like Thanksgiving. And they can't wait to get some dinner. Matty Ice is starting to turn into Joe Flacco. And you see how well the Ravens been doing the last few years. And as far as Circassian go, you know what? Sometimes there are times when you just have to go to your place, your quiet place, and reflect on your deeds and misdeeds. And if he reflected on his deeds and misdeeds, he'd realize that he sucks as an offensive coordinator. Now, I'm sitting up there going, wait just a minute. Do they have legal marijuana laws in Georgia? Because that boy been smoking something before he get into the game. So I think that y'all have been totally generous. But First Lady, all I can say is gobble, gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble, gobble. Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Falcons are turkey. And like Damian was saying, they tried that exact same play. I mean, they didn't even give him enough room on the end of the zone, because he was at the...
That's because they stupid.
That's because they stupid.
We said the offensive coordinator sucks. Y'all just trying to be nice up there. He sucks. Circassian sucks. He sucks. That's the bottom line.
That's the bottom line. He sucks.
Man, the man called it the cause. Now look, the only difference between him and Agent Orange, that guy in the White House is that he gets to, just look discombobulated on the field.
Sucks. All right. Faith, over to you.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my peers and putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go, boom, explosion, overpower. Over the competition I'm towering. Wrecking shop when I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare, you better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest that'll all get sliced and diced. Competition, paying the price. I'm gonna knock you out, Mama say knock you out, We are not talking about Cheryl Schools, Bourne Jackson, or Lisa Leslie. We ain't even talking about Serena, who got her new Bank of America commercial. Well, now they gonna use the little LL Cool J line. We got 300 episodes of Knock You Out. So, just 'cause, First Lady can outdazzle Serena in the Catwoman suit, don't be playing us. Now, again, we are not talking about Cheryl Schools, Lauren Jackson, or Lisa Leslie. We are talking about the knockout punch that Nike is trying to land on their competitors by making Colin Kaepernick the face. That's right, the bushy-head one, the face of their new advertising campaign. Now, is Nike trying to land on the right side of history? Does Nike know that those young buyers, them millenniums and them after millenniums, they got a different attitude than them old-ass agent slave owners of the NFL with a bet that they will rake in the cash? That's right, I said old-ass agent slave owners of the NFL. I'm not just talking about the owner of the Texans or the Dallas Cowgirls. It's a whole bunch of them old ass. But we won't get into that because First Lady over here looking at me and said, stay on point. Okay, I got you, First Lady. Now, does it seem weird Nike isn't at all concerned about Agent Orange, a.k.a. President Donald Trump? That the fans who blinked, lit fire, blam, their Nike shoes missed the memo that protest is the foundation of this democracy. And the protest was never, in case they didn't get that, First Lady, never, ever about the flag. Cheryl Miller, Shamik Hoscar, Tina Thompson, and Angel McCarthy are asking what you say. I'm looking at Nike. Nike got a whole bunch of money. They got a whole bunch of money. They got that long green. They got that kind of money where when they say, yo, you go what you say. That's how the party roll. And Nike, one of the things Nike don't do is do stuff that's going to lose them money. They do not do it. And just one little interesting thing, because, see, we got the real Damian Adams on the show, so I got to come real with it. Because he's the real man himself. That's right. Little good-looking ML. But, I like the shoes you got on, too. You and First Lady got together. Y'all thought y'all was going to showboat on me with the shoes. Now, you done snuck in here with some ruby red snake shoes. Now, I'm going to just have to bust out on you. Plus, what's that cologne you wear, man? I need to go get me some. But, as we were saying at the point on hand, Nike ain't idiots. And Nike sales have increased 37%. That's a big jump since they introduced Colin Kaepernick. So whether they trying to be on the right side, I always say, look, I don't care if you're on the right side or you're on the left side. Just be on God's side. He don't care. Actually, Dr. King said that. I took that line. But, all right. But, they don't do stuff to lose money. They do stuff to make money. Now, I do not know what evil lie in the heart of men. Only the shadow know. But I do know they on the right side of history. You know, and if the NFL, that's right, the NFL could get their act together, but of course they'd have to deal with the slave owners that they got and try to remind them that the inmates maybe do run the damn asylum. You know, but the NFL could have been on the winning side. That's right, because all the little, David, I ain't trying to say that everybody in the Republican Party is a racist. I'm just saying it seems like all the racists are Republicans. And the NFL ain't got a way about that. If they had played Nike know what they doing. So Nike know what they doing. I done talked him up. He the man. Him and David done came in here styling and profiling this morning. But see, I brought my hat. If I hadn't brought my hat, the brothers would have had me. The real Damian Adams, what you saying?
Nike, they definitely know what's up. They know that after a while, history's going to look at Colin Kaepernick as someone who sacrificed a lot to try to make change. Like, if you go back to way back in the day when Muhammad Ali didn't go into the Vietnam War, people did not like that. But now we all revere Muhammad Ali. We all see that he was on the right side of history. People didn't like Malcolm X. People didn't like Martin Luther King. There's a lot of people in history that were doing the right thing, but because they were trying to make change, they were not liked at the time. People get stuck in the status quo, and because someone tries to change that status quo or brings attention to things that may be going wrong in the environment in which they're comfortable, they get all this negative publicity because of that. And Colin Kaepernick's someone who's had to suffer to try to make a change and bring attention to, of course, what the protest was all about in the first place, police brutality against African Americans and social injustice in America. So Nike sees that, and they also see that, like you said, millennials like myself are going to be out here buying Nikes because we are going to support Colin Kaepernick. If they come out with the Colin Kaepernick line, they're going to make money. They all know that they're not going to take the risk if they knew that money wasn't going to come behind it. I do respect the fact that even with the calculated risk that it is, they made sure that they showed real backing Colin Kaepernick. They could have easily, because Nike's going to be good either way. They could have got rid of Colin Kaepernick or not, and they were going to be good either way. But they decided to side with Colin Kaepernick. So it does show something for them. I always think of the athletes. If you think about the way they stuck behind Kobe Bryant, Tiger Woods, even you go back to Charles Barkley back in the day when he was not a role model and had those commercials. They've always been able to stand in that fire and stand on the side of athletes and be on the right side. That's why they're the top dog. That's why they're, way above Reebok and way above Adidas, because they always stand in that fire and always on the right side of history. So I got to give a big ups to Nike for that.
All right. Okay, you say the right side of history. Now, we may have to, some of y'all heard the word millennium. And I'm going to tell you something. The brother don't look a day past 70. And I don't want to let him in, but man, he looking awfully young to me, And, see, I'm signing up with him because he can't handle all the girls. David. You know me, David. Funky Flores, what you say?
What I say about Nike and Colin Kaepernick?
Hey, look, this is what you're saying, whatever you say.
First of all, what I regret about this entire thing, what I regret about all of this is that something that has been about a protest about police brutality has gotten shifted away from what it is to actually acknowledge and appreciate what the United States is and what's possible here. And something's getting confused, something's getting conflated. One's allegiance to the United States does not have to then become in question because you have a protest against something that doesn't work. I just don't see that I don't think that it has to be diverted to one's allegiance. But apparently that's really how to sensationalize this whole thing. I don't know. Calling Kaepernick suffering? I don't think so. I think what's happened in America. Look, here's the thing. I never finished college, and I used to regret it. I really did. I used to regret that I didn't finish college. But one of the things that I love about America is that I actually have enjoyed a great deal of success financially in my career and everything like that, just inside of my own raw talents. And I'll be frank with you. I experienced a great deal of what people would call prejudice, or being singled out for being Mexican American, or especially when I would be dating. Somebody would say like, I'd hear from whatever girl I was interested in, well, my parents don't like it that you're from Mexico, or that you're, quote, a Mexican, or something like that. You know what? I don't care. I still screwed their daughters, and I went and found some way to actually make it in this world. So I think ultimately it's a great deal of belly aching. That's part of it. The other part of it is this. The music industry, what a lot of people don't realize about music is that a great deal of their sales are made to people who are between the ages of 13 and 17 years old. So a great deal of, and now this is kind of an old statistic because it's just become so easy to get a hold of music these days and download it and steal it. But the point being is this. You make a lot of money off people who are having an identity crisis. That's my point. So, maybe Nike's tapped into that. But I really don't care for it. As a matter of fact, on Sunday, I just wanted to watch a football game. And now I got to watch all this crap, too. I'll pass. Thanks.
Now, you heard from David Funky Flores, and David, I realized, because I've known David a while, and he has faced the prejudice of just looking so goddamn good. See, he didn't talk about when he passed all the young stuff. When he got old, he started looking kind of good and stuff. We had to fight all over the women and stuff, so he had to deal with some of that, too. But, David, I just want to add on that when your message can be subverted. That's all I'm saying. But we always have a final word from the First Lady. What you saying?
Nike, obviously, one of their big campaigns is that they always support the underdog, and, they root for the underdog. And, Kaepernick has been portrayed as a non-patriot by the President of the United States, Agent Orange. So, he's considered an underdog. But, for me, it's very interesting how Nike didn't take this stance several years, like 2 years ago when he first started to protest and when it was hot and heavy. You didn't hear from Nike, and he was under contract with Nike. So it really makes me wonder why all of a sudden Nike is coming out and really supporting Colin Kaepernick now. I think the thing is, it's a marketing ploy. That's what it is. It's all about money. And Nike is going to market to the African Americans because, we have tremendous buying power, especially when it comes to purchasing sneakers. I mean, African Americans are right up there when it comes to buying those sneakers. So it seems that everyone is hijacking Kaepernick's protest. It was the president that hijacked it. Now, to me, I really think it's Nike. I'm being honest with you. Even though I know they're coming out with him as Kaepernick as the face of the campaign. And don't get me wrong, I don't have anything against it. But I'm just curious of the timing of Nike because they could have done this when he first came out. A lot of people, like I said, didn't even know he was still under contract with Nike. It was like, oh, he's with Nike still? No, they wanted to make this a big splash because, like you said, Spitface, they're not going to hurt from this because, like you said, they're making money off of this. Yeah, they're really making money off of this because they're going to gain financially. And I still think that, it's another company, it's another entity hijacking his protest. I mean, they need to get back to the reason why he was protesting. And I just seem to think that's getting lost in the message. It got lost in the message with the president. Now it's getting lost in the message with Nike, because now all they're talking about is people burning Nike shoes. People burning the shoes and people buying the shoes, to support it. So, again, we're not talking about the reason why, Kaepernick was protesting about police brutality among the African-American community. We're not talking about that. So either way, those people who are burning their shoes, you think Nike cares? You already bought the shoes, so they already got paid. And people are going out buying shoes, so they're supporting Kaepernick. So I don't know. I'm a little bit mixed about this and the reasoning behind Nike's reason to support him at this date and time. I just wish they had done it earlier.
All right. You say you just wish they had done it earlier. And you know the song, First Lady. Money, 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 money. Money. And, also I do want to just comment on one thing about David Funky Flores coming from Mexico. I would have never known that he came from Mexico. I thought he came by way of New York. Now I understand. Because I was wondering, did his mama drop him on his head? But now I get it. All right, First Lady, I done picked on David Funky Flores enough. I'll pick on the real Damian Adams on the next show.
Right.
First Lady, please take us to break.
The first two listeners to email us or send a shout-out with the reason these ladies are grouped together will receive a $25 gift card from our partners at NFLShop.com and NBAStore.com. Your hint, they can shoot. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we have a performance from NuBluzRevue on the first part of Shout Out.
Pretty best of odd, and I'm still in Damian's shoes. Welcome back. The music flows in from around the globe to get a shout out from the panel. First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from NuBluzRevue.
On Shout Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. And yes, today we are featuring the music of NuBluzRevue. All right, DJ, let's hear Think Again.
You're so bad. You make me feel so good, then you make me so mad. I think I'm gonna close the book and then I take another look at you and I think again. You make me think again, baby. You're the kind that drive a man right out of his mind. I think I can't take no more of this. Give me one more kiss and I think again. Mama told me, boy, you better stay away. Mama's always right, you know. But your game I'm gonna play, baby. It's so true. You could do what you want and you know it too. I think I'm gonna say goodbye and then all you have to do is smile and I think again. Baby, it's so on to you. I think I can't take no more of this. Then you give me one more kiss and I think again. Yes, I do. I think I'm gonna close the book and then I'll take another look at you and I think again. About it. Yes, I do, baby. What's a man supposed to do? Just look at you, baby. Look at you.
Okay, that's NuBluzRevue. Well, I'm going to start it off, Think Again. It's definitely bluesy. That is definitely for sure. And, you know, I don't know. I'm on the fence about that song. I really don't know if I really like it. I'm going to give it a yo, because, I mean, they are who they say they are. They stayed in their lane. They're a blues band. It definitely seems that way. But, I really wasn't too thrilled about the singer's voice. That, I mean, to be honest with you, that's really what kind of threw me off. I just wasn't, I just didn't really, it didn't do anything for me. So, but still, I'm not going to give it a mute, but I'm going to give it a yo. David, what did you think?
Well, I mean, I don't think they got out of the slow lane the entire time. Now, yeah, I mean, I kind of dug it for maybe 15, 20 seconds. I was listening to the singer. I was like, okay, is he doing a little Ella Fitzgerald, a little voice as instrument here? And then, but we just had the same bass kind of going, a little bit of jazz guitar. I mean, like, I'm with you. It was definitely bluesy, but it needed some jazzy. It needed a little bit more movement, some more accompaniment. I was like, why don't you throw in a nice squeal of a muted trumpet in here or something? But, for me, they just never got out of the slow lane.
So you gonna hit the mute, or are you giving it a yes?
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the mute on that one. I'm gonna hit the mute on it. It needs a lot more. So yeah, I'm definitely hitting the mute button on that one.
Okay, you're gonna hit the mute. Damian, what did you think?
I didn't mind it. I think it's a song for a very specific audience. Like you mentioned, they are definitely in the blues lane, and in today's day and age, I don't know if their lane's gonna lead to, like commercial success or anything like that, but they definitely have their specific audience that will check it out. Like, just to give a little background on myself, I grew up down south, so I'm used to, blues music and hearing that type of music, especially like for like small places, like hole in the wall places. So it kind of brought me back home a little bit. So I'll give it a thumbs up. It's not the best of the blues, but I like the lane that they're in. I think it can improve. I like some of the points that David made about the sound, but I'll give it a thumbs up.
Okay, well, you're going to shout it out. We do the shout out versus the thumbs up.
Shout out.
All right, Spitface. What's your opinion about this song? You shout it out. You're going to hit that mute button.
I'm over here with the man from the real deal with Damian Adams. Being a natural born Southerner, it did take me back to a couple of little places where they would have a live band, and and you could have a little fun with it. So I'm gonna shout it out, but I do have to go with the funky man. So see, that's why he's the funky man. Y'all need a little funk, maybe a little horn added in there, because it was, it needed a little more meat on that bone. But I'm still gonna shout it out.
You said it needs a little bit of meat on that bone. Okay. Well, on part 2 of Shout, we'll have another performance from the NuBluzRevue. I hear my friend splashing in that water. Is it the sound of our favorite underwater friend? Is it time for slipping?
They call him Flipper, Flipper, faster than lightning.
That's right. It is time. It is time for Flip It, while host defend the pointed end, flip the script, and defend the opposing view. You know, Voice Lady, I didn't notice it until today that Flipper and David Funky Flores make that same sound. I don't know what it's about, but I think the man connected. I think the man might be connected. All right. The Michigan fans, you know, we talking about up in the north, spent a lot of money to hire Jim Harbaugh. And it looks like they aren't getting what the value of their money. We wonder, despite what the university reps say, you know, like the director and the president say, is Jim Harbaugh on the hot seat? We wonder, despite what the university says, is Jim Harbaugh on the hot seat? Defend. Michigan could not beat Ohio State before he came and can't beat them with him. It's not a hot seat. It's a roasting seat. You know, I'm looking at the situation with old Jimmy Harbaugh. You know, and I like Jim Harbaugh. Part of the reason I like Jim Harbaugh is because, you know, I'm a Bears fan. And I remember when Jim Harbaugh was, you know, on the Bears with probably the luckiest coach in NFL history. That's right, Mike Ditka, you know, who lucked up and had Buddy, but I ain't going to get into all of that. But now I am going to get into it. We had Buddy Ryan, a great defense, and the back of Walter Payton, who he did not let score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. So I needed to get that out so I could be fair. But I like Jim, because he treated him bad. You know, he didn't talk about his mama or nothing, but, you know, as a player, you know, he, you know, just, you know, it wasn't a good match, because Harbaugh leaves and goes to where? The Colts. Indiana, that's across the street. And goes there, Captain Comeback. Then he goes to Stanford, takes that program, turns them into winners, produces Andrew Luck. Then he messes around and goes to the 49ers and turns them, get them within, you know, within seconds of being able to win a Super Bowl. Then, and gets kicked to the curb. Then he goes to Ohio, and then he goes to Michigan. He lost all his magic. That magic just went. It was like all the magic that he brought, to the other teams. He got to Michigan. I don't know if it was that he had been, you know, playing, you know, he'd been doing all that work, you know, in the warmer climates, and forgot how cold it is up in Michigan. Because now that boy is on the hot seat. That seat roasting. If he don't do nothing this year, look for a change. Look for a change. Damian, what you say? Defend.
He definitely deserves more time. You know, he hasn't been there that long. Like you mentioned, they weren't able to beat Ohio State before he got there. So you got to give him time to flip that program around.
We're actually defending that he should be on the hot seat.
No.
You got it right. I'm over here. You know, I keep telling old school not to give me a blunt in the morning. Go back.
So yeah, I think that he, you know, deserves more time. You mentioned his resume, that he's had history of turning programs around, not only in college but the NFL. So give him more time, get his players in there. He definitely deserves it. He has a resume where he's built up that equity to be able to say, okay, give me a little more time, I can turn this program around. You just make sure he has to do it within a certain amount of time, but you have to be patient and let him do his thing.
Good. And I actually had it right, so you'll get to flip it on the other side. Okay. David Funky Flores, we are defending that Jim Harbaugh is really on the hot seat, and it's a roasting seat. Please defend.
Look, one of the things that seems to me inside of college football is that there's just been a departure from some of those bigger names that we've known in the past. You know, back in the 80s when I was a teenager, it was Michigan State and all those guys, and you heard it all the time. And I just think that there's a lot of college players that are going, you know, Alabama, Georgia, out into Florida, whatnot, West Coast. Ohio State's known more than Michigan State. I think it takes time to turn the program around, and he needs more time. That's what I think.
Yeah, but we're defending that he should be on the hot seat.
Well, if I back that up, how's that? We're defending that he should be on the hot seat.
Right.
Okay. Well, sorry. So here's the deal. I can defend it. Look, here's the thing. One of the things I've noticed is that organizations tend to fall into two places, right? It's either you've got organizations that can create a culture of winning. And one of the things that I think that's a subtlety is that you have organizations that then have a culture of an expectation of winning. And I think that can be deadly. And one of the things is I think Jim Harbaugh, should be on the hot seat because look, you're out to create a culture of winning. Michigan has that kind of history. If you've turned programs around, you're somebody who knows the difference between a culture of the expectation of winning and what it is to actually create a culture of winning. And that's what they hired him for. Okay. And you've been there since 2014. It's time to actually start really putting up some numbers.
Hey, call you Perry Mason and Ironsides.
Hopefully you can work that out in the splice afterwards on the cutting room. Okay, I'm sorry I got that fucked up.
We don't work out nothing. We let it flow. First lady with the last word, defend.
Well, I'm totally confused, but no, I'm not confused about one thing. Jim Harbaugh's record is 0-3 against Ohio State. And sure, they had issues with Ohio State before he came, but let's make this clear. Jim Harbaugh was hired to make a difference, and he hasn't made a difference. They have a 28-12 record, but he hasn't won the big games and a national title. And the big games is beating Ohio State. He promised, he guaranteed that they would beat Ohio State before he was even hired. And they just cannot win these big games. He cannot have another bad season of not winning big games, and that big game is against Ohio State. And look, he's already starting off the season on a bad foot because guess what? He already lost to Notre Dame. That's another big game. This is getting ridiculous. He was a good coach in the NFL, like you said, Spitface. But when he's gotten to Michigan, I don't know what happened to Jim Harbaugh. He's not bringing it, in the last 3 years that he's been there, they've been to 2 bowl games. He's lost 2 bowl games in 2016, 2018, and he didn't even get to a bowl game in 2017. Michigan fans are still waiting for Harbaugh to produce.
All right. Waiting. Sometimes you be's waiting. All right, now we gonna flip the script and now. I'm glad the producers gave me a chart to figure out how to work this one. So, Damian, we're gonna give you a chance to defend that Harbaugh should be on the hot seat. Please defend.
Okay, the reason he should be on the hot seat is that, first of all, he's loud. So when you're loud, you're making this noise, you're talking this trash, you have to make sure you produce. So he's out here talking all this mess. He's out here talking about how some of the southern schools didn't want him down there doing camps. So he's making a lot of noise. And when you make a lot of noise, you bring a lot of attention. And when you bring that attention, you better be producing. And right now he's not producing. Like First Lady mentioned, 0-3 against Ohio State, losing in bowl games. He definitely has not done what he did in Stanford here in Michigan. So the reason he should be on the hot seat, even roasting, as you would say, is that he hasn't produced and he's bringing attention. Now, if he was quiet and was just going along with his head down, maybe the noise wouldn't be so loud. But the fact that he brings attention to himself by being so boisterous is that now you got to say, okay, we're looking at you now. You got our attention. Is this what you want? Or did you want to go ahead and have your time to build the program up? But when you bring attention to yourself, that time clock definitely speeds up. So he definitely deserves to be on the hot seat.
Oh, wow. Yeah, hey, now. All right, okay. I'm trusting that the producers got my charts right. The silver tongue one. but a side of funk. Please defend. It takes some time. He's not on the hot seat. David Funky Flores?
Sorry, man, I was on mute. just being mindful of your show, man. I apologize for that. No, all right. So just find my ass with both hands here. All right. So what I'm saying is I'm going to defend that he shouldn't be on the hot seat.
Right. More time.
Yeah. No. So for me, it boils down to this. When I was growing up, back in the 80s and early 90s, it was Notre Dame. Everybody expected Notre Dame to win. For Pete's sake, they even made a movie about it. Rudy, that guy. I mean, there's the fame of Michigan quarterbacks but I just think there's been a migration away from Michigan and Notre Dame. You're seeing a lot more people, a lot more players end up in Alabama, in Florida, out on the West Coast. I mean, for Pete's sake, even in the 90s, I mean, the Nebraska Cornhuskers put together a team. The first three strings could have won the national championship. I just think that I don't think Michigan's going to get the love from high school players like they used to. And they're going to struggle. And I think that's what you're seeing Jim Harbaugh do, is struggle to actually build a winning program when you're looking at like I said, just a migration away from some of those two big names. I think it's going to take a while for him to rebuild that program and actually get Michigan the kind of notoriety or the return to quote greatness that they want. So it's going to be a while.
All right. When I look at the situation and it's like this, we have attention deficit disease in the sports world. And part of that is that if you ain't winning overnight, it's like all of a sudden you're a bad coach. And as the funky one said, it takes time when you got 200 other universities vying for talent, and y'all are all limited by the number of scholarships. And it's all about infrastructure. And what Harbaugh is doing is he took a program that was trash. They weren't even getting to the bowl games to lose them. That's something. Like, man, it's like getting to now I ain't gonna put him in the same seat as that coach up in Cincinnati with the Bengals, but they haven't even been getting to no bowl games to lose them. So the next hump is get there and win them. So it takes time to build a program from scratch the right way. So the university in this case is smart to not have him on the hot seat. But the final word goes to the first lady, the fan.
I mean, Michigan was a failing program before Harbaugh got there, so the fans need to give him more time. I mean, Harbaugh is in his fourth season, so he still can turn it around, especially against Ohio State. He can still beat them. And, when you think about Ohio State is a top 5 team. They're always competing for a national title. So, sometimes it's just hard to beat these teams. And Harbaugh is going to have to devise a plan in order to beat them, but give him some time. Give the man some time. He still has a winning record with Michigan. I mean, it's not failing. I mean, there's no reason for him to be on the hot seat. And who are you going to bring in to replace him? I mean, most coaches are given at least 5 years to turn a program around. I'm going to bet on Harbaugh because he did it at Stanford and he did it at the 49ers, and he can do it again at Michigan.
He can do it again. Do it again. Made me want to pull out my Pointer Sisters and Staple Singer albums. And all right, First Lady had to last word. And, First Lady, please take us to break.
Stay tuned. Up next, the funnies and our favorite underwater friend on Flip It Part 2.
Free Mr. Vine, get Mr. Funky Flores some slippers, and pass Damian another cocktail.
Welcome back. You are still listening to Bras, Panties, and Sport. It's time for the funny. Spitface, over to you.
I think we have something interesting for the panel and our listeners this week. Weren't we talking about Nikes being burned earlier today? Now, so this kind of fits. Shoe store burglar steals several right foot shoes. Shoe store burglar steals several right foot shoes. A burglar broke into a Virginia shoe store and took several sneakers that were all for the right foot. It's not clear if the thief meant to take only right-footed sneakers or was too much in a hurry to notice. But Rob Whitman, a proprietor of Clean Soles in Roanoke, Virginia, said he lost 13 right-footed shoes for what seems to be no reason at all, since they're not much good unless you have two right feet. Pretty much risking their freedom for doing for nothing. The thief did manage to take a few things that could be useful, including one old pair of sneakers and a few shirts and hoodies. But Winkman is still dumbfounded by why somebody would bother breaking into a store to take several right-foot sneakers off the display shelf. What was the point of grabbing one shoe off the shelf? The popos, that's the police, are still looking for the suspect who was caught on video during the heist, but had his or her face covered. They got mutual opportunity thieves up in Roanoke. This isn't the first time Clean Soles got right foot sneakers stolen. This is not the first time. In July, 2 burglars broke in and conducted a similar operation, making out with the display item. Police have charged a 17-year-old for that incident. Stealing right-footed shoes. That's the right, hey, David, have they been doing some weird surgery with people running around with two right feet? Watching all them, you be watching Curiosity Stream and all that stuff.
Well, I think these sneakers all went to end up on a group of friends that just had a bunch of right feet.
I don't know. Damian a millennium. Yeah, Damian a millennium. Y'all got something going with right foot shoes? The rest of us folks don't know about,
Yeah, I don't think whoever stole them definitely can't dance. That's all I know. The guys.
You said they I think you got a point there. First Lady, if water is splashing on you, it must be time for our favorite underwater friend. It's time for Flip It. Over to you, First Lady.
Okay. Le'Veon Bell is a great player. He is holding out for more moolah. Some of his teammates feel he is being selfish, but we wonder what the panel thinks. All right, panel, we're going to defend this. Le'Veon Bell is being selfish. He wants to be paid more than the highest paid running back. He's looking at wide receiver or quarterback dollars. Is he being selfish?
No, it's not. Is he being selfish? He's being selfish. Let's not confuse the panel.
Okay. He's being selfish.
Being selfish.
All right, Damian, defend.
Just to be clear, so am I defending the fact that he's holding out, or am I defending his teammates that are against him right now?
You're defending that he's being selfish.
Okay, so of course he's being selfish. You look at the fact that he's set to make over $14 million this year. How are you walking away from that type of money and your teammates, leaving them out to dry? And plus, you didn't tell them ahead of time that you were holding out. Everybody thought that you were coming in the Wednesday before the season started. Everybody's like, okay, we're cool with that. You're going to miss training camp. Cool. Just come in when the season starts. We'll be down. and then it turns out you're not going to show up till maybe week 10, just so you can have this season count towards your service and that you could be a free agent next year. This is totally a decision about yourself. And now you're not looking out for your teammates. And like I said, you're making over $14 million. So it's not like you're going out to have a chump change. You'll be, the second highest paid running back in the league behind Ty Gurley. Now, you are a great running back, and we need you. But we're going to go to this young running back because we see that you're all about yourself. So I do have to say you're being selfish.
All right. He's about being selfish. David, defend.
It's completely being selfish. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to really say more than Damian said. I mean, you're on a team. You're a team player. You've made an agreement about your salary already, and now you've turned this into a hostage crisis. So yeah, there's no doubt about it. He's being selfish, holding out for more money. Everybody gets the communication. He's just withholding his power. He's withholding his talent. He's withholding the contribution that he can make to the team. And he's going to use that against him to leverage him for more money, without a doubt. Selfish.
I'll tell you, that man is real selfish. Spit-face defend. Le'Veon Bell is being selfish.
First lady, I'm looking at it, and look, I'm honest with you. I agree. Get as much money as you can get. The careers are short, but there's a time when you have to look, this is the deal. This is, I'm set to be, as was indicated, at least the second highest paid player at my position. But what I'm arguing is that I should be paid beyond the highest paid at my position. I should be paid at the rate of other players. And his argument is because he's doing both. He's catching the ball and he's running the ball. But guess what, Le'Veon? Running backs in the modern, I'm going to say not the modern, because I'm going to say running backs of today better be able to do both. And hell yeah, you are the star. So I could get you saying, look, now I should make more than Ty Gurley because I done performed and I'm showing and I'm doing things he ain't doing beyond running back. And that money in itself is going to put you up there with a lot of the elite wide receivers and other positions. Now, you ain't going to get no quarterback money because them boys be racking up all the cash. So, I don't know. If you can push, if you can push Big Ben to the side and say, look, I'm going to throw the passes too, then maybe we might have to give you that money. But right now, just like Pouncey said, you're being selfish. That even the next team you go to, they ain't gonna pay you that much. You might be the highest paid player, at your position, but it ain't gonna be too far beyond that, and you know it. You selfish so and so.
Yeah, Spitface, you're right. He is being very, very selfish, and I can see why he's upset. But like as Damian said, he is about to make $14 million if he signed that darn franchise tag, which he still hasn't signed as of yet. I mean, who really is going to turn down $14 million? I mean, it's time for him to report to work. I can see him holding out during the training camp. I mean, hell, he's done this, is this the third consecutive year Le'Veon Bell is holding out? I believe so. So, I mean, we understand that he's done this before, but this is the first time he didn't report when he was supposed to report. Now he's really impacting the regular season, the real deal. And, that's why his teammates are looking at him side-eye because they don't understand why he's not here. They know he's going to hold out. I mean, that's his MO. But he's always reported when it's time to play for the regular season. Now, this is something new. He hasn't done this. And Le'Veon just has to understand this is what the league is about when it comes to running backs. They're a dime a dozen. Unfortunately, they're a dime a dozen. So this is a financial strategy that these teams are using. They keep franchise tagging you, franchise tagging you. And then, hey, by that time, you're too old to play. You're washed up. So, I mean, it's just the way of the world. You know, running backs just don't make the money like they used to. Now, Todd Gurley's a different situation because he's really much younger than Le'Veon Bell. Even though Le'Veon Bell, I think he's only 26 or 27, but Gurley is much younger. So he just got to conform and come back to work because the Steelers really need to, because this is last year they have a chance to win a Super Bowl. But anyway, we're going to flip this script, and the panel will defend. The Steelers are going to wear him down, and he knows that is the deal. And he's not being selfish, trying to get as much as he can before they run the tread off his wheels. Damian, defend.
So you got to look at it as a business. He knows that this is his last year in Pittsburgh. So why would I go out there and touch the ball 400 times just so you can wear my tires down, so that next year when I'm looking for a deal with another team, they're saying, oh, you've already been used up. Why would we pay you when we're not sure that you have anything left on your tires? So, of course, I got to protect my own interests. I understand it's a team sport, but at the end of the day, I'm an individual contractor for this team. And I have to look out for my individual interests. And individually, I got to say, it's not in my best interest to go out there and touch the ball 400 times. I should get paid more than star wide receivers who only going to catch the ball at maximum 110, 120 times. Why are they getting paid more than me when I touch the ball 400 times a year between catching and running the ball, and I block in the backfield? So I do it all for the team. I'm all purpose. But yet there's wide receivers like Sammy Watkins. Come on, Sammy Watkins making $16 million a year, and I'm not getting that much? What has Sammy Watkins done to ever deserve that much money? So I'm looking at Sammy Watkins getting paid. I see the defensive tackles like Aaron Donald, defensive ends like Khalil Mack getting broke off. I got to protect myself. So, of course, I'm going to hold out. I'm going to sit out, make sure that I'm fresh for next year so I can get that real money, that long-term deal, take care of my future. Because I do have a bunch of kids, too. So I got to make sure I take care of myself and all those kids I got. So I'm going to make sure I get that long-term deal. So I'm saying that I'm not being selfish. I'm doing the right thing for me by holding out.
All right, Damian. All right, David, defend. He has to protect himself. He's not being selfish.
Yeah, look, I mean, you know, I like to think of this kind of like defending is kind of like having a family business. You know, if you have a family business, there's two irons in the fire. You've got family and you got business, and those things are tough. Those things are tough to negotiate or have going on at the same time concurrently. I think the only thing that's going on here is Le'Veon Bell saying, "Hey, look, I've left some money on the table, and you know, this is business." And look, there's no doubt I love the team. You know, I'm here for you. You know, I want to contribute. Look, you know, just like Damian said, we'll go out there and touch the ball 400 times. We're going to perform. I'm going to work. But, you know, come on, guys. I left some money on the table here. We got wide receivers making more than me. You know, something needs to get straightened out. Let's talk about it. I think that's all that's going on.
All right. Yeah, they need to talk about it. The Steelers definitely need to talk about it. All right, Spitface, defend.
You know, the situation reminded me, a few years ago, there was a tight end. Memory slaves me from New Orleans who was being, you know, basically played like a wide receiver. And he was like, hey, I should get wide receiver money because you playing me like a wide receiver. I'm catching the ball as much, if not more, than some of the wide receivers on the team, and they making more money than me. And the NFL, the cabal that it is, they have come up with this fall thing. And what I mean by fall is that certain positions should get paid more than other positions, and that is not true. That is not true. If they, you know, as, what's his name, Cromartie and a few of these other players who, they were making money way beyond they, quote, position because of what they brought to the team. And that's the situation with Le'Veon. Le'Veon is sitting up here and he's going, man, why y'all trying to play me like a chump? Well, see, you know, you a running back, and see, running backs only get Now, y'all pay by who is going to bring the value to the team. And this pretend structure that, well, this player won't make and that player make, you look at that contract. Look at that contract for Mac Daddy that Chicago rolled out for the first time with their little cheap butts. Hey, is that a position thing? But they said, well, hey, Mac, we don't play players at your position that kind of money. That's why they said it was a breakthrough, because way more money than they normally would play players at their position, no matter how, quote, great they are. So Le'Veon is just sitting up there going, now wait just a minute. Now, y'all trying to pretend like I ain't hip to the game. Plus, I am the most used running back in the NFL. The most used. And let's face it, run me into the ground, kind of remind me of the Bears and Walter Payton. Let me run you to the ground. And then I get hurt, something happen, bye-bye career. Come on. That's all I'm saying.
Run him in the ground. Yep, that's what the Steelers will be doing. And everybody knows the Steelers are treating Le'Veon Bell with no respect. This man is a receiver and a running back. He is their offense. You cannot compare him to the top running back. Todd Gurley, yeah, he got the money, but Todd Gurley isn't used the way Le'Veon Bell is used. He says the Steelers will wear him down, and definitely he needs to make sure his longevity is protected. He can't depend on the Steelers to reduce his usage. And the Steelers are not going to. They're going to run his behind in the ground because they know this is his last year, because we all know. I think that's the worst-kept secret. Everybody knows Le'Veon Bell will not be with the Pittsburgh Steelers next year. You can guarantee that. And he needs to protect his future earnings. And he knows he's going to get paid by another team. So, you know what? He's going to report to the Steelers just in time to maintain his status, and he's going to get paid the big bucks next year. That's what he's going to do. And that's what he needs to do. Because I'm sorry, the Steelers, you just blew this. I don't know what's wrong with you. That man means more to you than a lot of your players. And I'm just really disappointed in the Pittsburgh Steelers players talking about Le'Veon Bell and talking about his money. When are you going to talk about another player's money? I've never heard of such ridiculousness in my life. But anyway, it is what it is. People get very upset when somebody's making more than they are. Anyway, Spitface, I'm going to turn it over to you because I know you got some spicy jambalaya for us today.
You are right. And I needed to clarify a comment that Damian made. I just want to clarify that when Damian said that, Le'Veon got a few chillin', he is not Sean Kemp. Okay, he's not Sean Kemp. Just want to make sure I put that out there. He's not referring to him in the same context as Sean Kemp or what's my man, the ex-Houston Rockets player. The ex-Houston Rockets player. All right.
Well,
no, you know my man on the broadcast.
Oh, gotcha.
He got a bunch of kids with, be wearing all the loud clothes that, when they be broadcasting the game.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, Calvin Murphy.
Yeah, Calvin.
Yeah.
Calvin got a bunch of kids, boy.
Who was the UT running back that played for Miami? Was it Ricky Williams? The one that always he was faked all the time?
Oh,
yeah, that dude had half a dozen kids all over South Florida. It's crazy.
Oh my God. All right. Well, we have a special mixed line panel. Okay. Today, a man knocked on my door and asked for a small donation towards the local swimming pool. I gave him a glass of water. How does this relate to the WNBA finals? And I'm just going to start this one out. When I look at, first off, I was like, oh, yeah. I kind of remember a commercial that there was some WNBA finals coming up. And I was like, so that's like the small donation. They gave the WNBA a glass of water. And the NBA needs to really rethink how they're promoting and marketing, the women's game. They do. Because, they got them in this strange off-season kind of thing where it's like, people, they can't get no props. They're in the dead of summer where people are out, doing things, not watching as much television, and you're going to put them on, that's when you're going to put them on. So, they need to look at the strategy. I think the best thing the NBA could do is actually have both seasons run concurrently and mix them up with the men's game, the scheduling of the men's game. That way they can get people who are sitting up here going, I'm in the basketball season and I'm really into basketball, and okay, hey, I'm like, ladies game on, let me check that on out too, where they in the flow. You're going to take them out of the flow. Like you trying to have it like they not competing with the brothers. We know they ain't competing with the brothers, but you need to have them in the same flow. Otherwise, it's like y'all giving them, y'all ain't even giving them a glass of water. Y'all give them a half a cup, And, David, what you say?
Man, I don't think there's any way you can put any lipstick on this pig. It's the WNBA, man. I look every time somebody brings up the WNBA, I'm like, okay, look, here's the deal. I can't imagine any of these ladies pulling off the thug life image that any normal NBA, but I can't imagine half of these girls holding a Glock, much less driving some tricked out car with a bunch of spinning rims on it. And I know some of the stuff I'm saying is purely stereotypical, but I mean, it's like, I gotta laugh. I'm like, why are we, they gotta do something to the WNBA, like include physical contact. Like they gotta start throwing some forearm shivers down in the paint or something like that. Something that'll spice this up, because the WNBA for me is one big yawn layup.
You say it's one a yawn layup that the ladies
big yawn of a layup. This is
the ladies ain't thugged out enough. You say they need a little more thug in their game. They need some. You say they need they need some roughnecks. You mean something like this? You say they need a little more of that in their life?
Something like that.
Damian, what you saying about that the ladies' game? What they need? How can they get out the situation?
Okay, I have to disagree with my man Funky. I think that the WNBA is a great product. Like, if you really like basketball, like, you see these ladies play, they balling out. And honestly, in the post, they're more physical now than the NBA. In the NBA, we've lost that post, those post players that we had in the 90s, the Patrick Ewings, the King Olajuwons, all those guys that are physical in the post. We don't have that now. The last guy that we have that was someone like that is Dwight Howard. So those post players are now gone in the NBA. You don't have that physicality anymore. In the WNBA, you have that with the Brittany Grinders and the Liz Cambridges of the world who are down there in the post doing work. And I don't think that you could run their season with the NBA, because I think they would get drowned out by the attention of the NBA. I just think that the NBA has to do a better job of bringing attention to them during their season. Because also them and ESPN, because you think about the finals last night, it was on ESPN News. So half of us don't even have ESPN News. Or it was on ESPN, you know what I mean? So you got to put it.
You said they didn't get a half a glass of water. They gave them a thimble.
Exactly. Like, they gave them a little capsule. Like, when somebody come over, you ask them for some drink, and you don't give them that much. You give them a little capsule of the full water there. So when you put them on ESPN News, of course people aren't going to search out for it, but they're on ESPN, the main channel. you might just be flipping channels. You're like, okay, I'll check out the game if there's nothing else on, especially during this time of the year where, it's right before football season starts. Baseball's in the dog days right before, playoffs get started. I think WNBA could do well. It just need more attention. And honestly, we just need people to get out of that box of thinking because they can't dunk is not exciting. You have all the things except the dunk. Everything else that you have in the NBA, you have in the WNBA besides the dunk. Like, if you watch the finals, man, with Elaine Deladon and Sue Bird, who balled out against Phoenix and scored 14 points in the fourth quarter with a broken nose. Like, you have incredible things happening in the WNBA. Just need to put it on the right channels. Like, don't put it on ESPN News. Put it on ESPN. Put it on Fox. Put it on the right channels. So when people flipping channels or people are, just talking about on social media, they can see it. So I think that it just needs to be marketed better. But I wouldn't run it with the NBA because I think it'll get drowned out.
I got it. Cheryl Miller could dunk.
See, they had a few players that could dunk, but nobody's doing windmills. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's doing windmills or dunking on nobody like that. But they had a few players that could dunk out there.
Yeah. Cheryl Miller. She was the first one to dunk. She could dunk. But the final word always goes to who? The First Lady.
Well, first of all, I agree with Damian. Believe it or not, he's right. The WNBA game is a little bit more physical than the men's game. That is definitely for sure. And like he said, there's definitely not going to be run with the NBA season. The reason why, not because they'll get drowned out, because first of all, these women do not make money in the WNBA. They make their money overseas in the other countries. That's where when they're not playing during the summertime. Through the fall season, they're overseas making a whole bunch of money because women's basketball is much, it's for some reason people overseas, like women's basketball, and they've always liked women's basketball. But for some reason in the United States, when it comes to professional women's basketball, people just don't gravitate to it. I don't know why. I think the problem is for some reason that the NBA and the WNBA, they have to do a better job promoting this game among women. This is a women's game, and women are not the ones watching the WNBA. It's men over 40s, and over their 40s are watching the game. It's kind of interesting. I mean, I don't know why the dirty old men are watching it. Maybe they think they can see something. I don't know. I'm just being facetious right now, but I don't know. It's really interesting when you look at the statistic of who's actually watching the WNBA. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. This year, I have not watched one WNBA game. And the thing is, I want to, like you, Damian, what you were saying about where the games are being broadcast does make a difference. They had the NBA All-Star. It was so funny because my mother actually watched the WNBA All-Star. They showed that game one time. It was never repeated on ESPN because I was actually trying to look for the game to see if they were going to rerun it. They never showed the game again. And that's the problem. I think the WNBA and the NBA, they have to just do a better job with marketing this game. Make it out there for women to support it. I don't understand why women are not supporting it. I mean, it's really interesting what's happening with this league. I know they came out with a lot of different commercials, work, make me work, and it started to show some promise, but again, it's still not where it needs to be. And that's the reason why these young ladies are not making the money, because if they can't promote it and get people into the arenas, they're not going to make that much money. Like, they're making like $30,000. I mean, that's unheard of. That is unheard of.
You gave them a quarter cup of water. Well, First Lady, please take us to break.
On the other side of the break, we'll have another performance from NuBluzRevue on Shout Out Part 2. Please stay tuned.
And watch the WNBA. Give them some love. Give them some love.
You are listening to Bras, Panties and Sports. It's time for Shout Out Part 2, the picks and the finale. The music flows from around the globe to get a shout out from the crew. Spitface, over to you.
All right. We have another performance from NuBluzRevue. So if you in your juke joint at 8 a.m. in the morning, you might like this track. DJ, roll.
I'm not the one who didn't try. I'm not the one who walked away. I'm not the one who had to play. It was you who said enough, I don't want this anymore. You who told me, gee, I simply am bored. Now you tell me, well, okay, I know you want me to come home. Well, I'm not so sure, maybe I do and maybe I don't. And maybe it's back at you, back at you. How does it feel now that it's coming back at you, back at you? Back at you, girl, don't you see this is me and it's back at you. Payback is sweet. I'm not the one who had to shine. The spotlight that burned bright was yours, never mind. I'm not the one who turned it off and turned it on and said, let's pay attention or soon I'll be gone. It was you who looked around, you who complained. You said there's nothing I need to explain. I'm gonna be who I am. Take it or leave it, that's all. Well, I got to think. Better slow down, I'll give you a call. And maybe it's back at you, back at you. How does it feel now that it's coming back at you? Back at you, back at you. Girl, don't you see this is me and it's back at you, back at you, back at you. How does it feel now that it's coming back at you? Back is sweet. Things have a way of turning around. What once was up now turns out to be down. Now you tell me that it's me that you wanted all along. Well, I can't decide. Maybe it's right and maybe it's wrong. And maybe it's back at you, back at you. How does it feel after it's coming back at you, back at you, back at you. Girl, don't you see this is me and it's back at you, back at you, back at you. Girl, don't you see this is me and it's back at you, back at you, back at you. How does it feel? How does it feel? How does it feel? As a payback is sweet. Payback is sweet. Back at you, back at you. How does it feel? How does it feel? How does it feel? How does it? Back at you, back at you, back at you. Payback is sweet.
That's David. Is it getting a shout out or the mute button?
Oh, man, that's getting the mute button again. This poor guy, I don't know, man. These guys, if they want to portray themselves as a NuBluzRevue, I just wish they didn't sound like a jazz and blues fusion band trying to, I don't know. Here's the thing. If I was a really old guy who was soaking my dentures in, some Polydent or something, I don't know, whatever. If I was cleaning my dentures and this was a lounge act, I might get a boner if there was a lady next to me. But I mean, this is these guys. That guitarist knew like 2 or 3 chords. They got some, and his voice never really broke above anything jazzy. I have a hard time with this being a NuBluzRevue. Something's you either got to pick a side, or they got to say, hey, we're bringing something completely new to the game called blues jazz fusion, and they got to do more of both.
All right, you say that. So the mute button.
Again.
All right. The muted again. All right, Damian.
I'm gonna shout it out. I like this song. I thought this song brought more of the pop that we were looking for in the last song. More of that, just something that caught your attention, especially the beginning with the sound that was coming in. And this song, you could tell this song he was coming in with like a story, like this. All right, someone did him wrong. It's coming back at you. So I like this. I'm gonna shout it out.
All right, we got a shout out first, lady.
I'm gonna give it a yo. I'm gonna give him a yo again. I mean, I actually like this song a little bit better than I did the first song, but it's still not warrant to give them a shout out because, again, I don't like the voice. He seemed like he just was, the timing of his singing, he was out of tune, but basically he wasn't catching up to the music, it seemed like to me. So I'm gonna give it a yo.
All right, so we got, it's been all over the place, and with NuBluzRevue. Now, I'm going to give it a shout out. One, I thought they did add a little more meat to the bone. Plus, I could see being in the juke joint with with a big old plate of crawfish with some potatoes and corn and some biscuits. And we just, and a pitcher of beer, not a glass, get a real pitcher of beer, and folks kicking back. So I thought it was a fun track. I'm going to say, now he did, I put it like this. I know he wanted to go Al Jarreau on us, but he knew he didn't have Al Jarreau's voice. So I think he stayed in his lane. All right. That's the end of shout out. Now, if you like what you heard from NuBluzRevue, hit them up at that's N-U, Blues, B-L-U-Z, review, R-E-V-U-E .wordpress.com. Check them on out. Now, if you'd like to be heard or have any comments, you can send your emails and tracks to Panties at oldgrumpyradio.com. Over to the First Lady for the picks.
The hardball picks, who will wear the crown? Well, we're having some more issues with getting those results from last week, so we're going to delay that, and we'll have it the following week. So let's move on, because we got a busy schedule here today. By the end of day Friday, Houston will have more wins than the Yankees. 5,000 for the correct answer, minus 75,000 for the incorrect answer. Well, I'm definitely going to say yes, Houston will have more wins than the Yankees, because Houston is balling right now. And I think they won 6 in a row. So anyway, David, Funky Flores, Houston will have more wins than the Yankees, yes or no?
Yeah, I think they will. I think, look, here's the thing. I was watching the game last night. One of the things I really, really liked about their play was, Houston's in Fenway. Hard to win with the long ball, in Fenway with the Green Monster there in left field. They manufactured runs the old fashioned way with, singles and doubles and triples and sac flies. I like seeing that. And, if they want to win on the road Boston is beautiful. If there's anything, they look like a machine this year. But if Altuve and Correa and Springer are in there having fun swinging the bat and everybody's behind them, I think we got better than the even odds of seeing Houston in the Fall Classic again.
Okay, Damian, Houston more wins than the Yankees.
Yeah, I got to agree with both of you guys. Like you mentioned, the way they're playing right now, they're gelling at the right time. So I think they'll end this week in the season with more wins than the Yankees.
All right, spit face.
I'm going to go with them Stros.
Go with them Stros. All right, Cleveland, more wins than Seattle. 15,000 for the correct answer, minus 15 for the incorrect answer. David, you're up. Yes or no?
Yeah, I think Cleveland stays ahead of Seattle. Not a problem.
Okay, Damian.
Yeah, I don't see Seattle making that type of push. So I'm going to agree with David on this one.
Spit face?
I'm going to go with Seattle. I'm going to roll the dice.
I'm going to go with Cleveland, so I'll say yes. All right, moving along. Detroit, more wins than the White Sox. 5,000 for the correct answer, minus 5,000 for the incorrect answer. Damian, you're up.
I'm going to go with the White Sox.
Okay, so you say no. All right, spit face.
White Sox.
You say no also. I'm going to say yes, Detroit. And David?
I would go with the White Sox. They're playing some inspired ball lately.
Okay, so you say no also. Okay, moving along. Colorado, more wins than Atlanta. 5,000 for the correct answer, minus 5,000 for the incorrect answer. Spit face.
I'm tempted to go with Colorado only because they got legal weed, but I'm gonna go with Atlanta. I'm gonna go with Atlanta.
You say no. I say yes. Colorado will have more wins than Atlanta. David.
I'm going with Colorado. More wins than Atlanta.
That's right, because Colorado's fighting to stay on top of the division. All right, Damian.
I'm going to go yes as well.
Okay. Arizona, more wins than the Dodgers. I'm going to go with Arizona. Dodgers, I don't know about them. They kind of struggling. So I'm going to go with the Arizona. David?
You know what? I'm going to go with the Dodgers. I'm going to just. I think they want it. They don't. I think they're going to be embarrassed with anything less than winning their division.
All right, Damian.
Yeah, I got to go Dodgers as well. You just can't trust the Diamondbacks. You know, I live out here in Arizona, and the fans will tell you just can't trust them to come through when they need to. So I'm going to go Dodgers.
All right. Can't trust them Diamondbacks. All right, Spitface.
Hey, they bite, but I'm going with the Dodgers.
Okay. All right. Now for the football picks. Who will wear the crown? Yay! Football season is back. All right. The Rams versus the Raiders. 15,000 for the correct answer, minus 15,000 for the incorrect answer. I'll start it off. I'm going to go with the Rams. David.
Man, I'm going to go with the Raiders.
Ooh, Raiders. I think the Raiders are playing at home. Damian.
I got to go with the Rams. That team's stacked. And the Raiders, they just got John Gruden, so I'm going to go with the Rams.
All right, and Spitface.
You make it sound like John Gruden's gonna be on the field.
That's my point. He can't do nothing on the field.
But I'm going with the Rams got that tough defense and they got an offense. I'm going with the Rams.
Definitely. All right, the Bears of Khalil Mack versus the Green Bay with that bad man Aaron Rodgers. 15,000 for the win, 25,000 for the loss. All right, let's see. I'll start it off with David.
I think Green Bay takes that one.
Okay, Damian.
Yeah, I gotta go with Green Bay as well. Bears are improved, but not that much. So Green Bay.
Spitface.
I'm gonna go with the Bears. The only time that they really got a chance to get Green Bay is the first game of the season, and I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm gonna go to Mac Daddy. Is gonna have something for that bad man. Because remember Leroy Brown, baddest man in the whole damn town. Till he ran into Mac Daddy. I'm going with the Bears.
You know what, Spitface? I think so too. I'm gonna go with the Bears. The Bears are excited. They got Khalil Mack. They feel good about themselves, and I don't know. I think Green Bay could definitely be taken in this first game. So I agree with you on that. So I'm going with the Bears for the upset. How about them Cowboys against the Panthers? 25,000 for the correct answer, minus 50,000 for the incorrect answer. Damian.
I gotta go with the Panthers. You know, Cowboys, I don't know who Dak Prescott's throwing the ball to. So I feel like Ezekiel Elliott's gonna have a hard time running against that Panthers defense, so I'm going Carolina.
All right, Carolina. Spitface.
Cam, I am green eggs and ham.
I agree. I'm going with the Panthers, and I think they're home. And the Cowboys, what are we talking about? You're right. That offense looks very inefficient right now. Because you're right. They don't have anybody they can throw to. All right, David.
I think without a doubt the Panthers, but I think that's going to be a tough one to call any other way. But see, I think the real gamble is Jerry Jones going to be on the sideline losing his shit because the boys are losing. That's my favorite thing about any Cowboys loss.
All right. Moving along.
You can tell David is not a Cowboy fan. That point has been made abundantly clear.
He's not a Cowboy fan, right? So 49ers versus the Vikings. 25,000 for the correct answer, minus 50,000 for the incorrect answer. All right, Spitface.
Well, I really like Jimmy G a lot, a whole lot. But I like that Vikings defense even more. So I'm going with the purple peoples.
All right. Oh, boy, this is a tough one because Jimmy G hasn't lost a game. Could this be the first game that he's lost? Yes, I'm going with the Vikings. David.
You know what? I'm going to do a little Cinderella story here. 49ers, they lost Harbaugh. Now they lost, Kaepernick, and now apparently everybody's losing their shoes too. It would just be hilarious if the 49ers pulled this off. I'm just going to pick them for fun.
You're going to pick the 49ers for fun. Okay. Damian.
I got to go with the Vikings. I think that defense is going to introduce Jimmy G to his first loss as a starter for the 49ers. So that defense is real. Plus they added Kirk Cousins. I think the offense will be improved. And on Vikings by like 14.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I forgot about Kirk Cousins. All right.
Thinking about a whooping. Okay, Damian.
All right. Texans versus the Patriots. 50,000 for the win, 75,000 for the loss. All right. I'm going to go with, how can I go against Tom? I'm going with the Patriots. David.
Man, I tell you what, this is like picking between crabs and chlamydia. I think I'll pick the Texans just because I like to see Tom Brady lose. There's just something wrong for me about a guy with that many Super Bowl rings and he gets Giselle. Just not fair.
It just ain't fair. It ain't fair. And she still, you know what? And she still makes more money than him.
Right. And then you got the Texans. There's such a culture. The Texans culture here. And he said the MO is just nothing but disappointment. They're gonna get you real close, but then they're going to fumble it in the long run.
All right, Damian.
I'm going with the Texans in this. I'm going with the upset. You remember last year when Deshaun Watson was healthy, they had a shootout with the Patriots that went down to the last second. I think this one has that same type of feel, but the Texans pull it out because they're improved on both sides of the ball.
Okay. All right, Spitface.
I'm looking at J.J. Kilowatt, Clowney, and Merciless are finally healthy and playing together, which is going to be bad news for a Patriots team. Who is Tom Brady throwing the ball to other than Gronk? Patriots.
All right. Well, we'll see. The Chiefs versus the Chargers. 35,000 for the correct answer, minus 35 for the incorrect answer. Damian.
This should be a very good matchup. I'm going with the Chargers and a close one.
All right, Spitface.
I like that boy Patrick, but basically he's a rookie. Even though this is not his basically a rookie, but he bad. He is bad. Chargers at home, got to get an edge to them. I'm with Damian. Chargers.
Okay, well I agree with both of you, so I'm going with the Chargers. David.
Look, I'll just be the dissenting opinion here. I'll pick the Chiefs just to be the guy on the outside.
You just like that barbecue, that KC barbecue sauce. We know.
And here's the thing: if they were at Arrowhead, I'd be more like, let's pick the Chiefs here. But they're in San Diego; they probably stand to lose. But no, I'm picking the Chiefs.
That's Patrick Mahomes' debut as the starting quarterback. We'll see how he does. All right, these are bonus questions. You do not have to accept these bonus questions. So let's get to the first one. Deshaun Watson, more touchdowns than Jimmy G. 50,000 for the correct answer, minus 75,000 for the incorrect answer. I'm going to take it. Let's see. I forgot who are they playing? They're playing the Vikings. I'm going to go with Deshaun Watson. We'll have more touchdowns than Jimmy G. David, are you going to take the bonus?
No, I'm not. I'm going to stay out. This is really out of my element, this one right here. So I know the real deal's got something to say about it for sure.
All right, Damian.
Yes, he's right. I definitely got something to say about it. I'm taking Deshaun Watson. I believe against that Patriots defense, he can get 3 or 4 touchdowns. I don't see Jimmy G throwing for more than 1 or 2 against the Vikings.
All right. Spitface, you taking the option?
I'm going to take the option. I'm going to go with Deshaun, and simply because the Patriots it's going to be a game. I really think the Vikings they're going to put the hammer down on Jimmy.
All right. Next option. Giants more rushing yards than the Cowboys. 50,000 for the correct answer, minus 100,000 for the incorrect answer. David, are you going to take this option?
Yeah, I will. I will take this option. I think the Giants do have more rushing yards than the Cowboys. My sense of the Giants just consistently is they just have more. They have more running oriented offense. They play far more physical ball, I think, than the Cowboys do, and I'm taking that.
All right, Damian, are you taking the option? You said no?
No, I have to decline on that one. I think that the Cowboys will have more rushing yards than the Giants. The Giants are going against Jacksonville. We all know how nasty Jacksonville's defense is. I think Saquon Barkley will have a rough first week.
Okay, so take the option if you know that.
Okay.
It's when you don't know the option that you don't take. But anyway, Spitface, what are you going to do?
I'm going to take the option, and I'm going with Giants. I think Saquon is just going to bust loose. And the Panthers got something for Zeke.
Okay, well, I'm going to take the option, and I'm going to go with the Cowboys because it's basically what it is. Dak doesn't have anybody to throw to, so they're going to run Zeke in the hole. Run him in the ground. That's all they're going to do. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys. And the Giants, all the money they're paying Odell Beckham, they need to throw the ball to him. So that's what I'm going to go with. All right, we'll see how we're going to do. We promise we'll have those results for next week. It's time for the outrageous predictions, and our panel will give that. Let's see. David, Funky Flores, what's your outrageous prediction?
My outrageous prediction, Houston sweeps Boston.
Okay. Houston sweeps Boston. Damian, what's your outrageous prediction?
Outrageous prediction is that Sam Darnold throws 4 touchdowns in his first game.
Okay. Oh, all right. Spitface, what's your outrageous prediction?
That Jameis Winston will not start at any point in this NFL season. He will not regain the starter's job.
Okay, I thought you were talking about this week. All right.
Yeah, he's
I'm going the whole season. He ain't going to get to start.
Okay, well, wow. That is outrageous. That is outrageous. Well, my outrageous prediction is that Serena will lose in the Open final today against Naomi Osaka.
Say it ain't so. You giving that outrageous prediction.
Wow.
She's coming in too overconfident. Anyway, for the empowerment message, I mean, we were talking about the WNBA today. I just think women, we need to support the WNBA, support your young kids, your young daughters playing basketball, and just try to give the WNBA a try. We got to really make this profession work because we're talking about supporting women, and that's the important thing. All right, Damian, what is happening in your world? What do you want the listeners to know?
Just want the listeners to I definitely echo the message that you just gave out. Support the WNBA. I cover the WNBA here in Phoenix. It's worth supporting. Women definitely have to come out and support it. So I echo that message. And just stop burning your Nikes. All right? It's dumb. Stop doing that. So that's my message. Stop burning your Nikes. And plus, everybody burning their Nikes are burning super old Nikes too. Like, let's not act like you out here burning some fresh Jordans, LeBrons, Kyries. You out here burning your 1998 running shoes. So let's just stop the madness. Stop burning your Nikes and support women, all right?
All right.
And where can they check you out?
You can check me out, The Real Deal with Damian Adams. You can subscribe on iTunes, on the 3-Point Conversion Station on Spreaker Radio, also YouTube as well. And you can follow me at The Real Deal WDA. That's The Real Deal. W as in whiskey, D as in Delta, A as in Alpha. That's on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, everywhere. Check out the show. It's a pretty good show.
All right. Well, we're glad to have you on. All right. David Funky Flores, what's happening in your world this week?
Well, I've launched a company called Centium LLC. It's actually, as you guys heard about the last time I was on, it's a web-based pricing application for heavy haul and over-dimensional trucking. I think it's actually a breakthrough in what it is to price that kind of cargo very quickly. So that's what's happening in my world. And in terms of just a weekly women's empowerment message, if I could just really just get on the coattails there with the real deal, ladies, especially the young ladies, you can't stress how important it is to have a strong male role model in your life, someone who loves you, values you, honors you for who you are, and for nothing more than who you are and the way that you are, and that's just critical. And I just give a shout out to my lovely daughter at UT Dallas, starting her master's degree in art. Love you, pumpkin. All right, think about you all the time.
All right. Well, we appreciate that, David. Definitely got to have some strong male models in your life. That is so true. And you can check me out at Cheryl Smith at First Lady of Sports on Twitter. And please visit us at BrosPantySports.com, where you'll find links for the latest episodes. And E pluribus unum, out of many, one. Join us in demanding Congress honor the dignity of our fellow citizens from Puerto Rico and convene hearing into President Trump's humanitarian disaster. Remember, they are our fellow citizens. E pluribus unum. This is Cheryl Smith, the First Lady of Sports Talk, David Funky Flores, the real Damian Adams, and Spitface. You have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. See you next week.